What's going on, everybody? Actually, you know what? Do this. All right, let's go to subscribers only. Give some people some time, maybe to get in here. We'll see what's going on in the markets today. But um, yeah, how's everybody doing right now? How's your portfolios looking? Because mine looks great. Um, yeah, XRP at $3.47, breaking the $3.50 barrier and breaking over a 200,000 or $200 billion market cap is crazy. I mean, it's not crazy, but we expected it. But it's just always amazing to see. My assets look absolutely amazing. Um, I mean, everything seems to be making some decent moves, or a lot of things seem to be making some decent moves. Boy, that's spicy. Jeez, I didn't know that was that spicy. This doesn't really help. This is my dinner time. I didn't eat anything. Um, and Harper's going off to swimming in a little bit. Hayden's upstairs, probably playing her tablet. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Again, that's super spicy. Um, if you guys want to maybe start leverage trading, if you're interested in leverage trading, check out my link for DFlow in the in the chat. You guys can trade up to a 40x leverage. I have a couple of trades. That one that's at 70% gain, as well as a 60% gain for Adam. I have a 3x leverage, two 3x leverages, which is not bad at all. It's not the max leverage that you can have, like it's not a 40x leverage or anything like that. But I'm gaining a decent amount, and I'm going to continue to grow this account as well, and just continue to invest. I love leverage trading, just because if you know what you're doing, even long term or even some swing trades, you can make some decent money. So, especially in a market to where everything seems to move in tandem. So if one thing goes up, we see a lot of other things, especially in the top 100 that goes up. So it's easy pickings compared to the stock market, which some things can go up, some sectors can rise, some sectors can fall. Ultimately, you would expect to see them progress in the right direction, but it's too consistent in the stock market, if that makes sense. But yeah, XRP currently stands at $3.47. It's up by 13% in the last day, and it's over a $200 billion market cap. Currently standing at 205. The amount of volume, we're at $18.3 billion in volume. I think 4.8 about then, cool to 4. So you think it's going to go to $4.80, and then it's going to cool down to $4? What's cracking? Nothing much. What's up with you? Hey Matt, I have 475 XRP bought at 67 cent or 68 cents. I'm kicking myself for not buying more. I mean, the point is that you bought, so you get to see the gains. It's just as you have less, you have to get to more in order to equal what other people are getting. But it's not about that type of like you don't have to do that. I would expect you to create your exit plan just like if you would have 100,000 or 10,000 or whatever XRP. You have XRP, which is, you can say that compared to other people, some other people who can't say that. So you bought, um, you're able to see the benefits and be able to gain a lot, because if you bought, you know, 475 at 67 cents, like you're not spending a crazy amount of money, but it can turn into a decent amount of money. God bless you. Thank you. My butt hurts. What does that mean? Um, next fib level now is $3.84. So that's the next stop, and then we'll go way over $4. I agree that we will go way over $4, but know that there's going to be resistance points, and those resistance points you can say, you can look at these levels and look at the next level to surpass before we see major movement. But you got to understand that like whole numbers are significant points. Um, Higher market caps are significant points. Breaking ceilings, which would be maybe surpassing Ethereum, is a significant point. So any significant point, we will see retracements from, and that's kind of the way that I look at it, is how people are going to react at certain prices rather than just what prices has it reached to in the past, and obviously breaking those prices. Now, granted, breaking that price would be extraordinary and we would see some major growth. I don't know how, since it is so close to $4, I don't know how $4 will hold, because once you do break that level, it should be kind of mayhem when it comes to people trying to acquire XRP. So I don't know if it will hold that level, but the next significant point will obviously be, the 25 to 50 level. The $5 level will be a major resistance point. Guys, if you have a chance, make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. If you go to that notification bell for more of these videos and live streams. Let's see, did the like button yet? So make sure you answer the poll as well, and hit the like button and answer the poll if you hit the like button or not. Again, with 147 people that are here, if you guys are interested in leverage trading, I have a link to DFlow down in the description and in the chat. You guys can trade up to a 40x leverage. You can also do high risk trading if you want to. You can invest into the stock market, and you can invest into cryptocurrency in general. They are giving away a car for the time being, obviously in the beginning stages of things. if you're ranked within the top 500, you have a chance to win a $50,000 car, which, I mean, 1 out of 500 is a great, obviously you have to get there, but 1 out of 500 they're great odds. So not only winning the car, but also winning the ability to leverage trade and invest in general. But XRP, again, thank you to all the people that have joined right now. But XRP is currently standing at $3.48. Hit a high of, let's go ahead and go down here, hit a high of $3.54, breaking through the $3.50 barrier. And also breaking through and holding the $200 billion level. This lady put my my sushi in a bag with a lot of other stuff, and it's all mixed up and it's everywhere. It just doesn't look as appetizing as it did when I bought it, but it still tastes good. It's a little spicy. Thank you for helping retirees. I'm one of them. You help a great deal. God bless you, son. Are you talking about me, or is that someone else like in the chat? If it is me, I appreciate you saying that, but all I do is I try and give you as much information as I can, as well as talk about the plays that I'm making and what I see in the position, and you guys end up making that move. So I think what I generally do is help people out with that second opinion, I would say. Because investing without a second opinion is very difficult. Investing with that next opinion, where you click on a video and you're like, what do you think about XRP? And you truly give, or the person truly gives their thoughts on how they feel about XRP and where they feel like it's going and how much they have invested and all of that stuff. It makes you feel better about making your investment, whatever that is. And then you guys deserve all the credit in making that move from there on. So if you decide to buy $1,000 worth of XRP or $500,000 worth of XRP, that's your decision to do that, and you should get all the praise for making that move. Hey Matt, I've been a follower for a while. Now can you check out comp? So I have comp. I have comp in my leverage trading platforms, but comp is a good play. I've talked about it quite a bit. It's currently down on the day, though. It's down by 1.2%. It's at a $50 level, $50.14 level, $470 million market cap with 235,000 holders. 10 million coins in total supply, 9 million, basically 10 million coins in circulating supply. So you're not looking at a ridiculous level that it has to get to. Like if it gets to $100, like obviously you're looking at 939 million dollar market cap, which is not insane. We've seen this at way higher prices. If we go back here and look at the price history, we've seen this in the last year at 120. All history, we've seen this at a level of $900. So obviously we're looking for that to happen and that to get back to where it was at 400, 500, and maybe even that $900 level or more. So that's why I have a little bit of comp in my leverage trading portfolio. I don't hold it outright, but it is a great play, just to give you a brief breakdown or a brief look at it. Imagine the SEC dropped the XRP spot ETF right now. So I like the ETFs, right? I like how much hype they're bringing and the traditionalists they're bringing into the market. But I have to be honest, I've always said that an all-encompassing ETF will be way better for the entire market. Because then you see the consistency, you see the movement, you see the ability to invest into the broader market rather than one single position. So I can't wait for that, but yeah, that would be insane. I always hit the like button. Your info has definitely helped me level up. I appreciate that, Big Easy. It means a lot. Would you say $8 will be a peak for XRP? Will it be the peak? I honestly see levels higher than that, but I look at it in sections, right? I want to see when those sections will happen, when those, the $5, $10 section will happen. Obviously, I want to see altcoin season flourish, and it looks like we're getting closer and closer to that. With Bitcoin seeing a little bit of negativity, I think it now looks positive, but seeing Bitcoin at a little bit of negativity, seeing it at a 62-ish, dominance, and seeing Ethereum's dominance rise, seeing XRP's dominance rise is a big deal. No, I don't see $8 as the peak. It could be somebody's peak, but it's not my peak. Have some XRP in a forever bag. I'm hoping 2029 will be a good one. Yeah, I mean, that's always the right option, is to have some XRP left in as a forever coin. And, I have it. I have my certain amount that I plan on, selling at certain levels, which I've been open and transparent about. What's going on with my phone? It's like doing a bunch of stuff. Oh, Harper and Erica left, or they're leaving. I don't know if Hayden is up here. Waiting on sushi myself. Yeah, I got I forget what I got. I try and get different things, but I don't really generally go for like the raw stuff. But this time it was different. I got a chili lime mango salmon roll. It's pretty good. I have no complaints. No complaints at all. Well, actually, I'm lying. I said it was a little spicy, but I like spicy food. It's just not when I'm live streaming. I tend to cough quite a bit, and I already cough quite a bit. Do I still like Jasmine? Yes, of course. I still have a million Jasmine, 100,000 that's sitting in my forever bag, as well as 900,000 that's sitting um, and waiting for me to, establish my exit plan. Add in now or wait for a pullback? Should you buy in now or wait for a pullback? I generally don't like to buy in at high levels, but if you don't have any XRP, then yeah, it doesn't hurt to make those moves. The problem is that you have to be confident in the fact that it's going to grow to a higher price. If you're not and you expect to see a retracement, then wait for that retracement. And even if you see it grow, like say the retracement comes at a higher price, it still makes sense for you to do it that way because it protects your sanity in a way, right? So say if XRP right here, XRP is currently at $3.48. Say XRP runs to $4, and then you see a retracement from $4 and it drops back down to maybe 350 or even 347 or something, whatever it is. You could potentially buy at a higher price, but then have better sanity because of the fact that you know that the price can go higher. The price has already been higher, so you know that it will go higher. Now, if you believe that it will go higher where it stands here today, then and you're not going to be upset with seeing any type of losses because we could see a retracement, then you can make that move. But it all depends how your mindset works. For me, I try and save some money for any type of retracement in any situation, just so that I can buy in more at the bottom as well as lower my cost basis. But I'm pretty strong mentally, so even if I do see it drop down and it's negative, I'm not concerned about it because my belief is that it should be more than that price.
D Sunny donated $4.99 through Super Chat.
Thank you.
Hey Matt, just want to say thank you for your videos. I wish you all the success.
Sonny, thank you. Thank you for saying that because, with all of the XRP videos that I would make, and honestly, a lot of videos that I would make, you have people that literally just don't like me. It's not even about the investment itself because I've seen them comment positively about the investment prior to, but they just don't like me. And it sucks, seeing those comments come through where they're like, you're a horrible investor, you don't help anybody, you're getting people to lose money. It's always great to hear the success stories of people that have been able to make money. And even though that comes down to it to where they blame me to say that I'm losing people money, I will never 100% take credit for you guys making money because you ultimately pulled the trigger. You ultimately believed in that play. You ultimately said, I want to invest this much cash into it. And you decided how much it was. So the fact that you have success should be 90%, maybe even 95% you guys. But I'm here as that kind of second opinion. I believe in this project. I talk about the positivity. I talk about the future growth and the projections and all that stuff, which gives you that extra 5% to say, maybe I can buy it, So I will never 100% take credit, and I can, take the blame if that's the case, but I'm not 100% taking credit for your gains, but I appreciate you saying thank you and, for the videos, not necessarily for any gains, just thank you for the videos. And hopefully you're able to, learn a few things from it because I learn from every situation that I'm in. every video that I watch, every article that I read, you know, I try and learn something from it. No matter if it feels like it doesn't teach me anything, I try and learn something. My average is at 56 cents. I thought 150 was high when we arrived there. Well, look at where we're at today. You deserve all the flowers, Matt. Thank you for saying that, MT. I appreciate it. Where do you see XRP prices in the next 5 to 10 years?
D Sunny donated $4.99 through Super Chat. Dude, I bought in at Crow at 50 cents on my own and I'm still down. It's just that you make these calm videos telling us what could be. Rocket, let's go.
Look, I mean, I bought my original CRO at 30 cents, and I continued to average down to where my average is now 12 cents. And I know some people that also bought at
Eric donated
levels.
100 Norwegian kroner through Super Chat.
Well, thank you.
Been
for
in
the super chat.
XRP since 2018. Always tune into your live streams. You always keep it positive, and this is the year of XRP holders for sure. Greetings from Norway.
Well, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, and thank you for being here and all that stuff. I gotta like these super chats. But just to get back to that, CRO clearly is, you know, it's underperformed, right? And we haven't seen altcoin season yet, so we expect to see a lot more coming soon. But I invested at 30 plus cents. I think it was 39, it might have been, but then I reinvested even at 40 and 50 cents, and then I bought way more to bring my average down. And I was hoping that a lot of other people would do the same. But it's definitely a tricky one because it doesn't have as much hype. It doesn't have as much of a push as some other plays. But yeah, I mean, that's all I try and do is kind of not necessarily change people's mindset, but take your mind and go, don't panic, right? Just because you see that it's down doesn't mean that it will be down forever. Like this is a crypto.com is a company that has done so much to improve the use of CRO. And they've done so much for it that I feel as though that we are going to see a lot more than where it stands here today. But it does suck that they added more of the supply, or all that supply that they burned off, they're adding it back into the total amount. But you never know what that's going to do for the position itself, for the exchange and all of that. So that's why I still remain to hold 400,000 CRO. It's because I do believe in it still, even though that did change my mindset just a slight bit. Been in XRP since 2018. So what price did you invest at, Eric? Thank you for, again, the super chat. What price did you invest at? Jeez, could they cut this roll any thicker? What the heck? And you can't eat it in 2 bites. You got to eat it in 1. Do I think XRP will ever go down, or always go up with consolidation? No, I think we'll see retracement.
Joshua donated $4.99 through Super Chat. Hi Matthew, how high do you think XRP will go this bull run? Thank you for your advice in keeping us mentally stable during the downtimes.
So in my opinion, what I'm looking for, I would love to see a lot more than it, because I'm not necessarily stuck on just trying to see $100 this bull run, because that's not what I expect. I expect to see more adoption and more use as we see the next bear market. However, I don't expect the bear market to be huge. So my expectation for this bull run would be anywhere around or below the $25 mark, right? I feel like that will establish us well within what XRP and what Ripple is trying to do and what honestly the government is trying to do for with cryptocurrency, because I know they have a hidden agenda behind the scenes. It seems like they always have a Trojan horse, and it seems like Bitcoin might be that Trojan horse. um, so I'm looking for anywhere at or below the $25 mark. So um, looking for the $5 mark for my first exit plan, exit strategy, and as we move forward, I would expect to transition into the bear market with a higher price tag, a way higher price tag than where we stand. However, it all depends on the things that get implemented, the things that happen, the FOMO that comes in. So that's why I have different exit plans below, because if it was just like, oh, I believe it's going to get to $25, everybody's like, why don't you hold until $25? That's not my exit plan. Right? My exit plan is to solidly exit with a decent amount of XRP and a lot of cash, but then also still have some left on the table for those $50, $100, whatever, $200 mark, right? Whatever we believe that it's going to get to, depending on the things that get implemented there. So that's my levels if I had to give you one. Hey Matt, good afternoon from Cali. Do you think the 4-year cycle will repeat itself, or everything will change moving forward? Also, how low do you think XRP will go after altcoin season is over? So honestly, let's just say that it really depends on how high it gets. I don't expect the 4-year cycle to be the same. I still expect there to be a 4-year cycle because Bitcoin does really control the vast majority of the market. Eventually, you'll see that kind of transition, but I expect the 4-year cycle to change slightly, percentage wise. I don't expect to see, with all of the ETFs, with the potential all encompassing ETFs, with the governmental impact, the reserve, all of those things that kind of create strength within a market, I don't expect to see the 70 or 80% drops. If anything, if anything, I expect to see somewhere around the 40 to 50% drop. If even that, it really all depends on how many ETFs, how many all-encompassing ETFs, how many traditionalists are investing into the market, how much use are we getting out of crypto before this bull run is over. So I don't necessarily expect to see those larger losses or Bitcoin drop down to 15,000 or even 30,000. I expect to see a mild, right, bear market. That's my opinion. Matt, I followed you from the start because became a millionaire with you. How much for a 1 hour mastermind together? Continue the content. Much love. So I used to do one-on-ones quite a bit, where I would do weekly one-on-ones, but now I just really don't have the time. So I just do, in Patreon, we do, chats back and forth. Like anybody that messages me, we message back and forth and see what they're dealing with, any suggestions that or any things that I'm going through, as well as the things that you're going through, and seeing if we can learn from those. And that's kind of the extent of that. I really don't do the 1 hour sit down really anymore. It was beneficial. It was always great. But it became too much. There were a few too many people that I felt like I didn't have enough time. And when one person gets it, it seems like, you have a lot of other people that also get it. And with the kids and summertime and dropping them off at school, picking them up, and basketball and swimming and all of these things, I can't commit to any type of 1 hour. So this is probably the freest day that I've had. And Hayden's still upstairs. So, I mean, I don't know. And it wasn't honestly a free day. I had a lot of stuff to do. But I appreciate you. I really do. Aloha from Maui. Maui. XRP. Let's freaking go. Yeah, XRP looks amazing. It's great to see it over a $200 billion market cap. Absolutely phenomenal. $205 billion. Like, I know, like, I expect to see this, but when you actually see it and when it happens, it's like, what do I even say from here? Like, I understand, I can, talk about it, positively, but I honestly want to address all the people that said it's not going to happen, that it wouldn't sniff $200 billion market cap. I want to continue to address those people because they're wrong. And they always claim like they have the strongest opinions, right? And people that come through here will say, "Hey, I believed you helped me out, and that was amazing what you did, all that stuff." And the positivity, I accept it, but I don't accept it at the same time because I feel like you had a larger impact to that. For anybody else that literally just comes through here and says you're stupid for talking about XRP getting to, $1 or $2 or $3 or $3.50, and then when it does, they're nowhere to be found. Right? It's funny. Stand on business. If you're gonna talk about that, and you're gonna say it with your chest, then stand on business when it actually happens. Yep, I'm a very huge XRP supporter. Diamond hands. I don't want to hear diamond hands. No offense. Like, obviously, if you have diamond hands, you can make your moves how you feel. But I always feel like you should have diamond hands to an extent. There should be a certain amount that you hold forever if you believe in that for the longest time. Um, However, if you also want to be profitable, know that the crypto market does function or flow in cycles. If it's going to flow in cycles, then you have the chance within the peak of the bull run or close to that to get some profits. Getting profits is very, very important, especially in a speculative market, because what it does for you, not just to hold forever, what it does for you is it allows you to enter other plays. Not just XRP, it allows you to enter a BNB at the bottom. It allows you to enter a Solana before Solana was what it was. It allows you to buy into maybe some meme coins and get some short term and long term profits. It allows you all of those things if you can find a way to gain those profits. But if you sit on your hands and you do not gain profits, not saying that you have to take all of your profits at once, but you have to have a plan going forward so that you can benefit when it drops down to whatever low the low is. This is really good. They got these scallions on here, and they got, I think, mango. Yeah, mango. It's in the name. It's fantastic. Like, I never eat all of these. Like, I typically only eat maybe half of it. It is 390 calories, which is not bad. Um, but how much protein does it have? 17 grams of protein. It's not horrible. Power move. The current circulating supply for XRP is approximately 59.13 billion. The total supply is 99.9 billion. The maximum supply is capped at 100 billion according to Coindex. Yes. Yes, it is. And they have a natural burn associated with it, but that's very small. Um, don't tell people. Tetris number one rule in crypto is don't tell people you're in crypto. What? Josh, do you feel by December? Who's Josh? Do you feel by December XRP could reach $8.25? Could it? Yeah, I mean it could. But again, there's definite situations that have to happen, and various um things that that need to happen as well. So I don't. Sorry, my mouth is watering over this last one. Let me eat this. That's really good. And even all the extra stuff. Oh, that's just mango. That's fantastic. The problem with sushi though is anytime I get sushi from a place, um, they stop making whatever roll like I really enjoy. They had this Nashville hot roll that Nashville hot. I think it was a shrimp roll, and it was just to die for. The sauce was just amazing, and then they stopped making it. I've never found it there. Like it's been maybe 4 months, and I haven't found it. Did you DoorDash your dinner? No, I went to the grocery store. They have a sushi spot in there. Are you in the 1K to 10K per coin camp? Am I? No. No, I'm not. What kind of exit strategy would you do with 2,500 XRP tokens? Well, first it depends on what you want to gain out of it, right? What do you feel like you want out of 2,500 XRP? If you are one of the people that want the most you could possibly get out of 2,500, then you want to be in a longer wait than the normal person. However, if you are a person that wants to accept profits, because you know you're going to get your initial investment back, and maybe you already have. So, what do you want to gain out of holding XRP? Everybody would like to become a millionaire, but realistically, if you were to accept as things were going forward, where do you feel like the best level will be for you? Because holding, let's say you're holding 1,000 XRP, wherever you bought that 1,000 XRP, as it grows to $100, you're now at $100,000, which is different than where it was at $3.46, which is $3,460. Do you feel like it will burn a hole in your pocket to know that you have $100,000 versus $3,460? Probably. Now, if it doesn't, then you can take a portion of that, right? If it gets to a level of $50, and let's say you have $50,000 or so, you can take some of that. You can take half of it and then leave the rest in there, or you can take a quarter of it and leave the rest in there. No matter what, it's way more than what you or where you bought at. So, for me, it's always been about trying to accept what I put in there and being able to gain those profits as I move along. So the reason why, and people have asked me, the reason why I'm taking a quarter of my investment at the $5 mark is because that will get me about 250,000. It will get me all my investment back, plus some profit. Now, that's also going to be short-term tax, right? So whatever I put in there, if I take out this certain amount, right, I can look at it and say, I'm only really taxed on the gains that were over that, which is probably like $20,000 or something. So everything else goes basically back into my account, and I don't have to worry about all of those taxes on all of that. Now, as I move forward, I can have long-term capital gains tax for the other plays that I have in my possession, which is fantastic, right? Or sorry, for XRP, the other play that I would have. And that's what's going to be great for me, right? I want to have long-term capital gains tax. I want to pay 20% rather than pay 40 to 50%. So that's why I have the short term, get me whatever I need to get to, and then put that all into my dividend portfolio so I don't have to hold that in a bank account. And, it really depends on what you want. Which do you believe is a good price for XRP to open a long with high leverage? which do I believe is a good price for XRP to open a long with high leverage? Along with high leverage at where XRP is right now, I would not recommend. For you to invest now, if you invested a lower amount with high leverage, it doesn't really risk too much unless you don't put a stop loss. So what I would recommend is I always wait for a kind of a retracement period. So if XRP is currently sitting at $3.53 or currently sitting at $3.46, I'm waiting for a retracement. What we've seen recently is not a retracement. This going up to $3.30 and then decreasing down to $3, and that's not the retracement you want to see if you are looking to leverage trade. Now, you could go against the grain, which would be very difficult to take in, which would be to short it at this level and see it come down to wherever you believe the low level will be. Maybe it'll be $3, while also protecting your investment. Now, that may be against what the XRP community wants to do, but if you want to do something short term, that's already going to happen regardless. That could work in your favor. So it really all depends. I wouldn't ever go with a high leverage while it's at these prices, just because we haven't seen the major swing reaction, right? We've seen it push, but we haven't seen the major swing off of the highs that it's hitting. $3.50 plus cents. That's a high, right? But it could also react like Bitcoin and just break through those highs, right? Bitcoin's high was $112,000. It didn't only increase to 113, it increased to 115, 16, 17, 19, 20, 23. It increased over so many thresholds that a lot of people thought were going to be retracement points, and it did not retrace. So I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Hey Matt, what about CRO? Blessings, brother. I like CRO. I still have CRO at 400,000 CRO in my possession. I just staked for the new Jade Green credit card, but my phone is kind of acting up, so I couldn't actually fully apply for it because it won't send me a message to verify my phone number. Don't know why it's not doing it. But either way, I'm looking to get the credit card and also put out a video on my credit card channel about that credit card or those credit cards, because I mean, I like CROs, returns that you get back, and getting it in CRO to see eventually CRO reach $1, whatever you're getting in CRO, it's like 10x as you're getting more and more CRO. All I'm saying is I don't think XRP is all it claims to be, and I'm all in on CRO. It's okay to be in on CRO. If you're all in on CRO, then be all in on CRO. There are times where I have free money and all that money goes towards a certain investment. I go all in on that investment. However, I have so many cryptocurrencies in my possession. And I love being a part of so many different communities and believing in those as well. So I like CRO, I like XRP. Matt, what percentage would you start to take profit at? What percentage? So I'm taking for my XRP, just for you guys to understand that. I think I still have it. It might not be up. It's not up. Oh, I had to reset my computer. That's why. For my XRP, the first level that I'm taking profit from is the $5 mark, which will be about 50,000 to take $250,000. That would be $30,000 or $20,000 worth of profit in the end, and that's what I will report on taxes when that all is all said and done. Obviously, it depends how Coinbase reports it, but I'll have to check into that and make sure they report it the right way. But that's basically to take everything and just throw that back on my dividend portfolio as well. But then I will start taking smaller bits of profit as we move forward in prices. So I like the $5 level. It's not really about a percentage. I guess if you wanted to do that, you could say it's about 20. what, 20% gain? Is that how you would see that? 25% gain, uh, closing in on 30% gain to get you up to that $5 mark. But that's me. That's me, not you. Fat XRP candle now. I haven't actually looked at XRP closely. I guess we can use TradeView over here. Again, we have 228 people that, or sorry, 287 people that are here. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. If you guys want to check out my link for DFlow down below, which is a platform that involves investing outright. You can buy into different positions. You can invest in the stocks and equity. You can go into their high risk platform where you can find things like Valentine Grok Companion that is sitting at a 5,667% gain or 43,000% gain, which is technically the same thing, maybe on a different network. Caught in 4K. There's just this is a high risk arena. Know that they are high risk and you can lose money very quickly, just as if you can gain money very quickly. But they also have futures trading that you can trade up to a 40x leverage on this platform. I currently have 2 investments in my possession, one for Doge, one for Atom. That's up 67% for Doge and 54% for Atom. So feel free to check out that link. It's in the chat. Honestly, a good platform, very simple. Very, very simple. It's not overly complex. You just have to worry about the charting. You have to worry about what you're buying. That's pretty much it. You can go through the order book if you want to, if you're into quick day trading. But yeah, they make it very, very simple. Thank you for all the guidance, Matt. No problem. I try to do my best. Any knowledge or thoughts on ZBCN? I don't have anything. I think I've looked into that maybe once just because I was asked, but no, I don't have anything as of right now. Really can tell. Wait, yeah, I can tell it's really good. You stopped to eat mid-sentence. Enjoy, bro. Yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal. I will go and get another one of those right now and put it in the fridge for tomorrow for lunch. Have you took any profits from XRP, Matt? No, not at all. The only thing that I can say, no, I haven't even done that. The only thing that I can say that I have taken profits on is leverage trading. You know, I take leverage trades all the time, and if I find that the market's going to come back pretty heavily, sometimes I'll remove the profits from that leverage trade and then buy back in when it's lower. But all of my assets that are in Coinbase, they're all still there. I still hold everything. I haven't taken any profits in anything very recent. Not no, I haven't taken profits in anything in the recent days, months, or year. XRP is the new Bitcoin and XDC is the new Ethereum. That would be great. I don't know if XDC would go up that high, but you never know. Sky's the limit in some of these plays, honestly. I'm afraid to take profits. I want to keep my XRP coins. I hear you. It's, being a part of the community is its own monster to manage. Um, but it's so great to actually be in the community that cares about XRP, that cares about Ripple, that cares about the partnerships, that cares about all of the stuff that happens there. But it is also great to be able to take profits and find other investments to invest in, to be a part of. All I hear is the same old narrative of Swift and ISO. The same drum has been beaten since 2018. Outdated as fuck because there's no need for it. We have stable coins, which is just as capable. It's not though. There's a lot of people that don't even trust Tether, that don't even trust USDT, and it's all because of the narrative of they're lying to us, and there's a lot of misinformation there that's being spread as positive information or secure a secure stable coin. So yes and no, but it's a way of seeing control of things, and I know that's what the U.S. kind of wants. The U.S. would love to have majority of whatever's in control in the digital side of things, but this is where it's different. It's not only just a one country currency, and I don't even think that's going to be the case. The only control they would have is that Ripple is a U.S. company. But when it comes to um, just utilizing XRP, utilizing the payment option, and seeing the communication between banks and whatnot, that's a globally adopted thing, where you can see XRP being used in China, XRP being used in the US, XRP being used in Canada, XRP being used in Russia. Um, and I don't know about, but it really all depends. So, how many share of XRP are you holding? I have a lot. Some people know. If you know, then say it in the chat. But yeah, Matt, I've been subscribed to your channel for the past few months, and I like your unbiased content. um, can I ask you what you believe is realistic prediction for a 2030 XRP price? So it depends how XRP is going to be used. I have said in the past that as an investment for me, I don't necessarily need to see it go above $100 because there's going to be a lot. Maybe it's 70 or 80% of what I own right now will probably be gone by that time. I know that 10% will sit in there. So you have 10 to 20% that I'll have after $100. So I don't necessarily think that we need to see it there. However, there are instances, there are situations, there are massive price levels that I've seen that state that we can get it to, you can get it to 200 to 500 to $1,000+ and even some with the Fed buyout, which I don't, or buyback, and I don't know how strong that is now because of all of the progression with XRP and with crypto. But they said $37,000, 37,500, and I'm not in that camp to say I'm 100% going to be a part of that. It even gets to $10,000. There's a huge chance that what I own, I will not own most of it, right? Because that's a lot of money per coin. And if you own anything there, you don't necessarily, like, I don't need to have billions of dollars. I don't want to. Um, I just want to be able to put multi millions into a dividend portfolio eventually, and be able to see that pay bills constantly or pay for whatever I wanted to pay for and not really have to worry about anything there because all this money is coming from this one place. And the money is working for me, truly working for me, rather than me making the investment, watching it, creating exit plans and all that stuff. So to answer the question, where do I see it in 2030? Um, I would like to say somewhere between, and I know it's probably way low, somewhere between 100 and 200, or 100 and 500 would be fantastic. But again, I don't have I don't have a reason to want to see it up to those points. Now, it depends on all the different things that can be implemented during those years. Whether we're talking about massive adoption of the digital side, the digital currencies, um, seeing the use of XRP within banks, whether it's within their own bank or the partnered banks, but nonetheless still being able to utilize XRP in the end. It's so tricky to go out that far. I like to look at other people's predictions for 2030, but it's so far, and there's so many things that could happen, positively and negatively. Why are you asking? How much XRP do you have, and what's your expectation for 2030? I like to be realistic, but also understand that being realistic we wouldn't even have gotten to where we are here today, because many people's realistic level was anything below the $100 billion market cap. However, it's at 205. I'm never selling. I mean, that's interesting. Never? Never is strong. I try to I tried to not use those words, never and always. But there's times where I do stuff, so I always make sure that I just said it, I always make sure. I try to make sure that I refrain from using absolutes, but I just did it. Um, what what top five meme coins one should I have? Are you trying to say meme coins? What top five meme coin should you have? What are my top five meme coins? Well, I think the top two that will flourish, definitely you're seeing Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. I think those will be over $100 billion worth of value. Now, again, it all depends on the popularity and if the popularity can really come back. I feel like Dogecoins will always be there, but Shiba Inu could lose a lot because of what the ecosystem dev team has done. um, I would say Bonk. I would say Dog with Hat is a big one. Pepe obviously is a huge one. So I'm just not really fully into the meme coin side of things. I'm more into the utility side of things as of right now. When you hit $4, it will be $5 Canadian. So I should sell. That's what you're saying. London Open will take this over $4. Oh, London Open will take this during $4 or to $4 tonight. That would be amazing. I got to keep watching it because we tend to see some major movement at like 1 to 4 in the morning. Hey Matt, what's your dollar cost average on XRP and percentage you're selling at $5? Go buy yourself that house, bro. What house? I have a house. Um, but what's my dollar cost average? My dollar cost average is $2 or sorry $1.22 for XRP, and my percentage that I'm selling of what I own is about 25%. How many shares of XRP are you holding? 212,000 is what Matt holds. Millionaire status. I'd like to have enough to make a McDuck vault of money and gems. You realize that that creates one solid, right? Like it's not like you're not going to swim through the coins. It's going to create a solid because there are a bunch of solids that are going to create a solid, and it'll hurt if you dive into. Do you think there will be a meme coin run before the end of this year? I do. I do think that. Matt, I'm in the same boat as you, waiting to transfer into a 4% GIC and passively make six figures per year without selling base investment. Yeah, I mean, that's not with, like, obviously you're looking for the where you can gain $100,000. Like if you gain, let's say you have $1 million in an account and your average that you gain over the year just by the growth of the account is 10%. You're gaining $100,000, six figures, just by the gain of the account. Now, also factor in the dividends. Now you should be getting paid when you reach up to that level, about $300,000 or so should be about $1,000 a month. Yes, should be about $1,000 a month. So about 900,000 or $1 million should be about 3,000 ish dollars a month in dividend payments. So, you're looking at about $36,000 a year in dividend payments that could honestly pay your bills. However, you would still have to worry about the taxes that are associated with it. But you're being paid out for holding a position. And that's kind of what I want to see. And I want to see multiple millions in there to be able to pay me maybe 6,000 to 9,000. That would be fantastic. 6,000 to $9,000 every single month, and then factoring in taxes and still I'm be able to pay my bills just by literally having that money in there. That's what I would like. Plus the potential 300,000 that you can gain in just natural growth. Jasmine is going to fly soon, and it won't stop. So excited. I mean, I'm a big fan of Jasmine as well. I have a million Jasmine. I believe in that. I believe it's going to grow quite a bit. Yes, sir. I sold 3. You sold at like $3.36, waiting for a pullback to 3, and you're going to repurchase it. Now, did you sell all of it or did you sell some? Are you a person that's trying to time the market, or did you sell some of it to collect your initial investment or some profits, and then now you're going to take that sum or the profits and throw that back in lower to then gain the same amount while keeping your initial investment? That would be great. However, I don't know if that's how you did it. Do you think it's still possible $10 in Q4 this year? Do I think? See, this is the difference, right? Possible. I think it's possible for it to happen. It's just whether it's going to happen, depending on potential pullbacks, depending on new information and newer news for XRP or crypto in general, depending on if this is truly altcoin season. So I think it's definitely possible. We still have to see whether it is altcoin season right now. I mean, the way that it's looking, it looks great, right? Seeing that Bitcoin is sitting at a 61.3% dominance, while Ethereum is sitting at a 10.9% dominance. And then you're also looking at, I think XRP has a pretty decent market share as well. Are they not going to? Oh, they're just going to look at Bitcoin and Ethereum and others. Get XRP up there, because XRP needs to be up there. What's the dominance for XRP? Do they not have that breakdown? Can I select others and see top coins? They don't even put XRP. They got Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, BNB, Solana, and others. Why do they not have XRP up here? XRP should be right before USDT. Why are they not doing that? They know that that's a high percentage. Why are they not showing that? Come on, Coin Market Cap. I've seen they watch some of my videos and some of my my tweets that are on X. So why are we not seeing XRP up here? That's wild. What is, I mean, I could probably do the math. What is XRP's market dominance? I could probably simply do the math, but I just want them to tell me. Right now it's 3.04%. That's as of July 16th, not July 17th. Not what is market dominance. So it's around 3 to 4%, let's just say. And if I did the math, because it's currently sitting at a $200 billion market cap, 4%. Let's see. Let's go back down here. That just made me upset that they're not going to add XRP. They see where XRP is. XRP has hovered here before. It's gotten up to a $190 billion market cap. And you're seeing it's at like 4 or 5% dominance of the entire market. it should be up there on its own. And when it passes Ethereum, is it still going to be off the list? Where do you think Jasmine is going to be at the end of this month? I don't typically do that, to where I have more of a price target based off of the price targets, not based off of a time frame. But if I was to say at the end of this year, I want to see somewhere around 10 to 20 cents before we break out in or major breakout in 2026 and continue that breakout. So I would like to see 10 to 20 cents the end of this year. By the end of this year. Now, if we see more, fantastic. But that's what I want to see. Yeah, put it up there. It should be up there. Wouldn't banks go extinct in a peer-to-peer system? So, no, right? Traditional money is not going away. To say that banks will go extinct with peer-to-peer system, there's always going to be people that are using banks or want to put their money in banks, and banks are they're gonna adapt, right? They have to adapt. If they see a lot of money that's flowing through XRP, they're going to allow people to send their XRP or utilize their XRP within their banks. That's just how it's going to go. But it's never going to take over 100% of traditional money and the flow of money. It's just going to make it a lot easier for big money to flow, as well as anybody that wants to do quicker transactions. If you already have XRP, you can decide to take that XRP out immediately. Now, I don't know if banks will try and loan out your XRP and reuse your XRP just like they do with cash, because that would suck. That would be the situation that we got into with FTX. So would hope that that's not the case. However, they would be probably insured, and they would be liable up to $250,000. But still, you might have a lot of bigger holders that decide to put their crypto in there and want it immediately. Now, there will be people that decide to continue to just hold in wallets and transact that way. But it will probably be more valuable for some of these even wallets to kind of partner up with banks to be able to establish the partnership there with the customer as well as the larger entity. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes, but I don't know. We're currently at $3.52, so we're pumping. We're pumping again. $3.52, a $208 billion market cap. I have 1,300 at 50 cents. That's amazing. How high do you think Jasmine Coin can go? Like total? I'm looking for the $1 to $1.50 level. Understand that when I say where I believe that it's going, it's based off of, again, my investment and what I want to see within it and where I will have a majority sell point. That makes sense? Probably not. Where I will sell Jesus, I can't speak. Where I will sell most of my Jasmine Coin. Oh gosh. What time is it? It's 7:40? That's funny. That's too funny. I want some more of that food. I really do. Man, if Margex didn't scam me, I would be a multi-millionaire right now. I mean, absolutely. There's a big portion that a lot of people would have gotten back. It would have been just huge. And those are all the games. Like obviously people got their money. It was just the games that they had. A lot of wasted time. And I hate that so much because I've talked to them constantly about what their mission is and if they're gonna be allowed to trade in the U.S. Because if they are allowed to trade in the U.S., then what happens with all the gains that they had? Are they going to go back to the original people that had those accounts, or what? So I don't know if they're willing to do that. I'm very interested to see that. I'm going to keep contacting them and keep talking to them about it. And maybe that's why they're not releasing a US version, because you have a lot of people from the US that had gains taken from them because they shouldn't have been trading on there, even though they said that they could. Matt, what's your first exit on XRP on your exit strategy? It's $5, not a high number at all. I have 25% that I'm going to take out, and that's pretty much it for them, which should be a decent amount of money. It's just I'll still have a lot of coins left. My leverage position was worth 800,000 at $1.20, and they took so long to get my deposit back. I missed the Trump pump, and they then bought it back in after $3, barely breaking even now. That's so unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I'm in Australia and they still do not. Well, that's crazy. Hold up. That's wild. How and why? Hey, you're in Australia. Aren't you allowed to trade in? I mean, I wouldn't fully know. I did know about the US and the UK. I thought they were both like allowed in a way. And the worst thing that can happen is they kick you off the platform, but not necessarily take the gains that you've had. They would typically they would allow you to like, hey, we're discontinuing this. If you are trading outside the US, then you have this many days to withdraw, whatever, and then whatever. That's typically what exchanges will do. But I was in contact with them for a long time. And then the one person that I was talking to, I guess he's no longer with the company anymore. So now, who do I talk to? I've tried. Yeah, I sent them everything they asked for. Yeah, and in the beginning they were cool with that, and then all of a sudden, I guess people were making too much money with XRP. XRP was running by too much, and there was so much that was happening there. We're talking about like people with, um, 10x, 20x leverages that are making boatloads of money, and obviously they're making boatloads of money. So if they're making the money, you're making the money. It looks great. You know what I mean? That's what I say sometimes about you have to be careful with some of those the tier 2 to tier 3 exchanges. And sometimes with FTX, a tier 1 exchange, but there's no even with that, there still should have been more of a heads up if they were just looking to kind of go, oh, you know what, US traders, they're cracking down. I don't think they were even cracking down on US traders. So I don't know. XRP is going to be a legal tender. I hope so. Unsure about Dogecoin. I was gonna ape yesterday at 10 million. Now it's at 25 million roughly. Are you talking about bill? You're talking about the market cap? Just not confirmed if it's affiliated with Trump. So you mean like the market cap, or what are you talking about? Um, what's at 25 million? Because this is currently at 32.9 billion. You're talking about with Shiba Inu, it's at 8.5. You said Dogecoin. I had 50x at 60 cents. That's crazy. And that's phenomenal. I would have loved, no wonder why they were probably like, this is a crazy investment. You made a crap ton of money. They were just like, that's insane. That's crazy. Not crazy in a bad way, crazy in a good way. And you didn't do any other investments after that, or did you not trust any other leverage platforms? Is that why that worked? Or is that why, you feel like you see that you're breaking even or whatever? I contacted yeah, he said they've gone insolvent, on the run. They've gone insolvent. They're on the run. Their website and everything, and their app is still functioning. Are they just letting it rock and they're not like fixing anything or managing anything? Is that how that goes? I tried investing after but I got liquidated hard. Okay, yeah, those 50x leverages can get you. You know, you have to have a solid plan, and if it is at a low point, like I've done a 500x leverage, and I've done three 500x leverage that, granted, I've been positive on, and I've been able to make honestly hundreds of dollars from those 500x leverages, but there's such a fine line between being wrong. Like if you were wrong by 0.5%, you lose everything that you put in there. So if at a 50x leverage, same thing. Like if you're wrong by like 2%, you lose absolutely everything, which is still a large risk. And man, I want to say thank you so much for pushing us to buy XRP. I've listened to your podcast for so long. I had a chance to buy XRP at 80 cents. Thanks. Keep up the great job. Well, I'm glad that I'm able to, put it in front of a lot of people's faces, and show what it is and, what it does, what it could potentially do, and all of that stuff. Give you all of the positives as well as any negatives that are going on. And you guys can make your own decision on whether you want to buy it, and I'm glad that some people are watching and that they believe in this same play and that I can get a second opinion, because it makes me feel validated when I see that the community is large, the community believes in it, and the different, and it's not just like, oh, it's going to pump to this price. It's like, this is why, these are the reasons why. For anything that's like just a popular coin or a meme coin or something like that, it's like it's going to pump to $1. End of story. There's no other information after that. So seeing that many people believe in it, seeing that people will say, it's gonna go to here because of the government, because of adoption, because of partnerships and all that stuff. It feels great. It validates me as well. I was just desperate to get that freedom I thought I had. I mean, that's a phenomenal move. Like if you make a bold investment like that and you don't even see half the money or half the payout, it feels horrible, because that it feels like you had success in the palm of your hands and it just all went away. You know what I mean? Like I've invested into things and I was able to see some of those gains, but if I did a 50x leverage and all of a sudden it absolutely skyrocketed and I was able to gain hundreds of thousands of dollars just from that short-term investment, I would be super excited. But I'm really confused to be a short-term trader or long-term. I'm just new. I was really confused to be a short-term trader or long-term. You're confused on whether you should be a short-term trader or long-term? I was really confused. I'm trying to read this again. Um, I was really confused to be a short-term trader or long-term. I'm just new. Oh, I need to reload. There we go. Guys, if you haven't had a chance to hit the like button or check out my links in the description or the chat, feel free to do so. I have a link for D-Flow that I've been using for quite some time. It's a good platform that allows you to trade up to a 40x leverage. And I have a couple leverage trades in right now. You can also buy stocks. You can buy crypto. You can buy high risk cryptocurrencies as well. It's an interesting platform. Definitely give it a look. It was the best month in my life briefly. Yeah, I wish that you could see all those benefits. Did you leave the leverage trade in there? Like you didn't immediately see it and you were like $400,000 or something. I'm taking this out. You know what I mean? What? Who is this? Thanks, bro. Who? I was confused to be a short-term trader or a long-term investor. I'm just new. Thanks, bro. And you said Will Perry. Who said quick cookies? Cookies G YouTube? Who's that? I'm trying to figure out who this is. Is that actually that's not it's not my hold up. Hold up. I'm trying to figure out who this is. You can't just be throwing names out there like that unless that is you. Um Matt, closing thoughts for crypto community. If you dig in more and see all the scam reviews about Margex, to post a video warning investors, you could save people a lot of money. Yeah, I think I don't know what's going on with them because their website is still up and people are still, um, from what I've heard, people are still making money and investing the areas that they're allowed to. So I don't know how they were insolvent. I know there's a person that I reached out to that no longer works there or works with them. So I don't know how that goes. Oh, Matt, remember me? We chatted many mornings when XRP was 40 to 50 cents. I remember talking to you also about building bags of XRP to extremely high amounts on Patreon. Yeah, I remember. How you doing? What's your XRP looking like? I tried to withdraw 75K and that's when they blocked me off. Ah, that's a lot of money, but they didn't have any limits. Do you suggest entering or buying now at its current price? So what I've told people is that I don't suggest that you decide to just enter or to buy like more right now because you would be obviously increasing um, your cost basis. Let me go up to XRP again. You'd be increasing your cost basis, and it's not a good situation to have to continue to increase your cost basis. However, if you do believe in it above this price, it's not a bad decision to make that move. The issue that you're dealing with is that you are at the highest market cap that it has ever been at, meaning that you are investing at the high, right? It's not the all-time high, but it's the all-time high market cap. And if you are doing that, you have to be comfortable knowing or believing that it's going to grow. Now, what I suggest in any situation is I always wait for retracement. I like the comfortability to know that the price can get higher. We've seen it higher, right? Not just that I believe it's going to get higher. I want to see it higher. So while it was at $3.40. I told people the same thing. Like if you can see a retracement to a level to where you feel more comfortable knowing that now it's at a $2.50 level, it can get to a $3.40 level because it has been there, right? But right now, it has never been to these levels. Price wise, it has, but market cap wise, it has never been here, meaning that you are going to be extremely uncomfortable sitting on that and waiting for it to get to another high. You know what I mean? So maybe wait for a retracement if you don't have like a strong stomach or mind around it. No offense to you, not saying you don't have a strong mind, but it's very difficult. I try to not do this. I did the same thing with Caspa. Caspa went up to 5 cents, and I was like, I'm gonna wait till it retraces to three. I think it was 3.1 cents. It got to 3.4 cents and then it skyrocketed up to 10 cents. And I was still waiting for retracement. Ended up waiting until it got to about 15 cents, I think it was, and then retraced down to about 10. Um, yeah, until about 10. So I bought some there and then I bought a lot more when it was down at 5 cents. Again, I think it was down to like 5 or 6 cents. So I decided to buy some more recently because I wanted those levels as my cost basis. But I know that there's so much room above it. Caspa got up to like 20 cents. So seeing it at 5 cents tells me that it can, get up to 10 cents and 15 and 20 cents and move up from there. So I probably wait for the retracement. Um, $11 for what? Is CRO going to explode soon? I mean, I would love to see it. It hasn't done it so far, but I would love to see it. So far, I'm up $50 on my XRP. Should I hold for the long term if I have under 100? Look, it's totally up to you on what you should do. Um, if you have under 100 and you were looking for quicker gains, you were able to gain those quicker gains, I would suggest that if you're looking for fast gains or um, maybe even looking for long-term gains, I suggest using a platform that can give you the ability to leverage trade. And I wouldn't suggest doing a strong leverage. I would suggest maybe doing a wait till it retraces when it drops down, and I would suggest doing a 2x leverage at a lower price, and then you can basically say I have maybe $100 here. You're doing it at a 2x leverage. You're investing with 200, and you're able to gain the quicker gains by investing less. Um, but you have to educate yourself in that area, and also if you're just into those quicker gains, I mean, take your profit. I'm not gonna tell you just to you need to hold on to forever. If you're asking yourself, should you take profit? If you're happy with that profit, take some profit, right? I'm not gonna be that person that deprives you of profit. Um, because again, if you're asking right now, when it when and if it does retrace, you're now telling yourself I should have sold when it was up $50. And that's not the long-term mindset that you want to have. So you probably want to take those profits. Should I buy XRP sitting in the range of 350? Again, I just answered that. If we get to $5 in the short term, it almost guarantees double digits with all the ETFs on the back end of the year. Only makes sense. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm a fan of the ETFs. I'm a fan of the growth. We really only seen the growth within the ETFs for Bitcoin. We haven't seen that growth for Ethereum. Um, and we're seeing some interest and some hype around XRP. So I'm more interested when it comes to ETFs. I'm more interested in an ETF that's all encompassing. I want to invest into the crypto market, right? The closest thing we have to that is buying Coinbase stock, is investing into the crypto market, right? So I want to be able to invest into an ETF that's going to be something that moves, that has a lot of the top cryptocurrencies that we know and love, and see it slowly make its moves up, and then find other ETFs that are better. Right, I want to invest into the first all-encompassing ETF. Then I want to invest into the second and third, and the more structured ones. But and hopefully one that's like a dividend or an APY paying ETF that has a yield, and it'll be all of the ones that have the stakeability to it. Should I buy XRP right now? I mean, that's totally up to you. What do you? We broke the all-time high. We broke the all-time high market cap. We didn't break the all-time high price. What should I buy XRP right now? No. What do you think is the peak for XRP this bull run? What are your thoughts on the dip tonight for XRP? So, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily see that. Um, we might end up seeing continuation of that growth around 1 to 4 o'clock in the morning, when you see the other side of the world um, go, what is going on with XRP? XRP ran to $3.50, and they start continuing to buy into it. But where's the highest price or the peak that I believe you would see for this bull run in XRP? I really want to see, I think I said a $25 price point. That's kind of the level that I want to see. Because throughout, like, more maybe partnerships and use and acceptance, we should see a lot more within the bear market as well as the next bull market. But I think we won't see as heavy of a bear market as we think we're going to see, as people think. Give us your portfolio. No. Like, what are other coins? What are other coins that I hold? I mean, I could talk about it. I'm not gonna bring it up, but I hold I hold XRP, I hold Urine Finance, I hold Jasmy Coin. I really like Jasmy Coin. I hold a decent amount of AVAX. My cost basis for AVAX is like $20 or so. Um, Cardano. What's crazy about AVAX is when I was leverage trading on other platforms, I made a leverage trade that was a 10x leverage. I started with $2,000 and I had the ability to see that grow. If AVAX would just make moves, like consistent moves, I would have been able to gain so much from that. A 10x leverage at $2,000, we're talking about $20,000 worth of an investment, um, and seeing that growth, seeing that movement from potentially 25 to 30 to 40 to $100+ would be insane with the amount of gains I would have. But I have a little bit more of a um, uh, conservative leverage trade in right now that I can talk about at some point. Cardano is sitting at about $7,000. Swift Coin, I have Swift Coin, I have Ethereum, I have Kronos in my possession, I have Solana, Teller, which is currently at a $42 price point. I'm down $2,000 on that, but I believe in that. Cosmos, which I have, I should have 96% staked. I have 96% staked, I guess. I have Krill, I have Alt Layer, which I'm down about $647 on that. Litecoin, I have Harvest Finance, I have HBAR, I have Loopring, I have Alchemex, I have API3, Anchor, Shiba Inu. I have so many different plays. I have a lot of different plays. You're completely on the sidelines, yes. Just buy a little bit and get in the game. I see XRP doing $4.50 short term retracing back down, and then we'll see a possible double digit top. Um, when when I'll take profit. It's a great plan. You'll see a double digit top, and that's when you'll take profit. Do you think it'll drop below $2 again? Below $1? I don't think so. When we're talking about the um, below $2, there's always a chance. I mean, it could drop below $2. This level is pretty strong and significant, so I don't think it'll go below $1. But if it does go below $2, that definitely is a point to um, either leverage trade or buy back in or do something at a low point. And I will be watching at those points, obviously. Man, I faded the call on XRP. Um, I said you was wrong, and it wouldn't break $3. I was wrong, brother. Great call. Well, thank you for saying that, Roman Nomad. I mean, that means a lot to me, and that takes a lot of courage, a lot of strength to do that, to say that you're wrong about something. And I hope that a lot of your other investments or any investments that you make are going positive and that they're working well for you. That's what I only wish the best for people. I hate when people say like, oh, Matt, you're stupid for doing this, and that you're making horrible calls, right? Attacking my person. I feel like that in what you said is the fact that it's not going to $3. Um, Obviously, it did go to $3, and it's great to see that success there. But it's also better to see when somebody calls out the fact that they were wrong. If they can admit to a mistake, they can learn from maybe what they've done. And I do that all the time, right? If I'm wrong about something, I'll say I'm wrong, figure out what I was wrong about, and I'll learn from that. You know what I mean? So hopefully your other investments are working well for you, and um, hopefully you're able to make a lot of money from whatever you decided to put money into. Portion portion for sure. XRP is a forever coin for me. Yeah, I have was it 5% of my supply, 5% of my portfolio is forever balance. However, that forever balance can be easily uh, not manipulated, but I don't know what word I'm looking for. Um, I can easily say that that's not a forever balance and go to, selling it if XRP's at $10,000. It's like, why? I don't need to hold all of that. I can just put that somewhere else and then it can grow to a certain amount and I can still leave something in there to be in there forever, but definitely not the $10,000 per coin with what I have. I'll sell my other holdings. Won't be selling XRP anytime soon. What price did you buy? I bought mine at 90 cents. Didn't take profit back in February when it hit $5.44, or you mean $3? Do you think it's going to sell a portion now, or will it go higher in the short term? If you're talking about XRP, I have a little inkling, right? An itch that's telling me that we may end up seeing a bigger push tonight, but I don't know. It could always pull back because we hit a significant point, but it also surpassed that significant point, which is pretty interesting. So, my cost basis for XRP was 53 cents. I bought more at well over $1, and my current cost basis is $1.22. All right, guys, I have to get out of here. It is 8 o'clock. It's the kids' bedtime. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by and being a part of this and seeing the growth within XRP, believing in me, believing in the community as well. It means a lot to me. And also, first exit sell on CRO. I think it's $1.10 or so. That's my first exit sell for CRO. I don't have anything planned before that, I don't believe. But yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, if you guys want to check out my link for DFlow, this platform has been kind to me, and I'm going to continue to invest as time goes on. I currently have $158 in USDC to make investments for. I don't know if it's going to be a short. I don't know if it's going to be a buy, long, whatever it is. I just want to see some success there within what I'm investing into. But if you guys are interested, you can invest into cryptocurrency in general. You can buy XRP, you can buy ADA, you can buy whatever. You can also buy stocks and equity, Tesla, S&P 500, MicroStrategy, etc., etc. You can also do high risk trading. If you guys are interested in high risk cryptocurrencies, which very difficult, feel free to go ahead and check that out. Also, you can trade futures at a 40x leverage, up to a 40x leverage. I currently have two, one at 66% gain, another one at 53% gain. And these are at 3x leverages. So again, check it out. Link is in the description. Link is in the chat. And hopefully you guys enjoy your gains in XRP. And hopefully we see a lot more later tonight. If you see me live later tonight, then you know that things are absolutely skyrocketing because I'm tired. So anyways,